Alright, so you guys seem to enjoy the Ford Mustang mix up with the F-150, and I had a lot of fun doing that redesign as well. Or, I don't want to call it a redesign, just a mashup of crazy different cars from the same brand. And I asked you, what type of cars do you want to see me do in the next video? Well, definitely not Emma came up with AMG GT or a C-Class combined with a G-Wagon. I think Emma wants to see me fail, but hey, they got the most likes, so yeah, that's what we're gonna do in this video. We're gonna take the AMG GT here, take the face off the AMG GT, and of course, slap it onto this beast right here. As you can see, there is a bit of small problems here if we want to bring this face onto this face. First of all, the G-Class, this design is essentially a design of the 70s. It's very boxy, it's extremely not organic, it's very functional, and if you look at what the AMG GT is, it's the complete opposite. This is probably going to be the hardest redesign. It is going to be the hardest thing to kind of make work when it comes to designing on this channel, but that's kind of the whole point with these videos. So thank you, Emma, for the comment, and of course we're gonna try and make this right here. But hey, don't expect anything like the Ford F-150 Mustang. I actually like that thing. This, not sure how this is gonna go. So let's see here. We obviously we need to take the front piece, something like this, and bring up the G-Wagon. And you can see right here, it's starting to become a little weird already. There's quite a lot to be done here. First of all, we need to kind of fit this thing, but when we transform the front end of this car, the problem is that the Mercedes logo here is going to transform up and down with whatever changes I make to this to the shape, and that can't happen because the Mercedes logo in perspective is always going to have to stay round. So this is one of the small challenges, just having the Mercedes logo stay round when you work on everything else around the Mercedes logo. Or one simple solution to that actually is, let's just do this. Let's just go in, copy this, and put it in a different layer, because that way, no matter what we do to the rest of the shape here, we can always have the Mercedes. See that? Mercedes logo stays put and it stays round. It stays correct in perspective. Fiddle around a lot with this to fit the G-Wagon in the background. I mean, it's just nuts how many changes we're gonna have to make to this. I'm probably gonna have to redesign the whole front end of the AMG GT because it just doesn't. You can't have this front end with this body. It doesn't work. So we're gonna have to do something with the headlights here. Probably make it more horizontal. Just make almost like a redesign of the G-Wagon. So have the headlights be more of a square shape, maybe something like that. Let's go in and liquefy here, maybe get some more sense into this thing that we're doing here. Starting to think that this was a bad idea to come up with these redesigns here, because it's not easy to do. But hey, I think this channel is just for exploring new things when it comes to car design and redesigns like this. I'm not gonna say that all of these redesigns are gonna be my best work ever, because it's impossible in some cases. But what I'm gonna do is I'm definitely gonna try my best to make the front end of the AMG GT fit on a G-Wagon, and if I can pull that off, I think it's gonna give me a bit of a confidence boost that I can do pretty much anything when it comes to these redesigns. Just trying to get some more structure into this, very slowly working the front grille, because as you can tell, the front end of the AMG GT is a lot higher than the G-Wagon, and that means that it needs to stretch out vertically to cover the entire front end of the G-Wagon, if that makes sense. And when we do that, we're gonna stretch out all the graphics as well, and that's gonna look weird. So we might have to actually add some pieces onto here to make this work completely. It's gonna take a lot more effort or time than the design that we did, which was the Ford F-150 mixed with the Mustang, which you can go and check out if you want to. It's here on the channel. It's a previous video that I made. It's coming together. I can see it coming together here though. It looks pretty cool already. So what we gotta do is just melt it in together. That's the hard part with all these redesigns here, specifically when you just have two completely different designs like we have here. It doesn't get any more like the spectrum of Mercedes. You have the AMG GT Coupe with the low, long hood, typical two-door proportions, and then of course you have the ultimate luxury off-roader based on a design from the 70s, which is the G-Wagon here. So you can see we have some residue here from the picture, from the AMG GT picture. So gonna go ahead and yes, okay, no, I don't want to erase that. Go around the corner edges here. Maybe we can have some parts of the old G-Wagon show underneath here. That could work, Maybe the shield that's underneath here, we can have that be complete from the G-Wagon, something like this. It still looks very weird. Trying to figure out what needs to be done here. I think we need to lift. So the problem here now, let me show you what the problem is. I can see what the problem is. Problem is that we have this shoulder line here. It goes straight, and it does that on the original G-Wagon all the way to this corner here. You can see that corner connects to the front end. Now, if we bring in a very organic shape, going to lower the whole car, the whole front end. So what we need to do is basically lift this graphic right here that we have here. We need to lift it up and then fill in the rest of the car somehow. Let's see how this is gonna work. Bring it up, maybe squeeze it down a little bit. I think it's starting to look a little better. Warp it down so we stretch it down like this. Vertical structure to the front end while still having it be very Mercedes. But you see now we have this piece right here. So these pieces obviously needs to be filled in somehow, and that's what I'm gonna do now. So let me just give me a couple of minutes here to try and figure this out, and then I'll come back and talk to you if we manage to make the changes or not. So let's get into it. Now, I actually happen to love the new G-Wagon design because it's uncompromising. It's the opposite of these SUV coupes, which have serious identity crisis of what they want to be. But the G-Wagon is unapologetically a off-roader, although a luxury off-roader, but it's still an off-roader, and the shape has been with us since the 70s. It's pretty much the same shape since the first generation G-Wagon. It's just been updated and modernized with a couple of fancy radiuses in the rear, in the corner of the rear. If you look at that, I love those, by the way. It's just a detail, but if you look at the rear end of the new G-Wagons, the facelifted or the brand new model from 2019 and forward, you can see that I love the radius in the rear corners. It's just a tiny little detail that I appreciate. But anyway, it's a good design, and I wish more companies were doing this. This would be the perfect modernization for me, in my taste. So if I were to modernize a 70s G-Wagon, it would essentially be the G-Wagon that we have today. It's that simple. Land Rover did something with the Defender. They tried to keep it in between, having a sort of reminiscent of the original Defender, but at the same time a modernized version of it when it comes to the design and the graphics as well, and the proportions too. They took it a bit further than the G-Wagon when it comes to modern touches and feeling of the design, while the G-Wagon, which is pretty surprising because it's Mercedes, you would think that they would go even further than Land Rover and create a brand new G-Wagon. And that's why I love it so much, that they kept the restraint and kept it true to the original. So well done, Mercedes, and I'm sorry for any Mercedes designers watching this, totally butchering the G-Wagon's design here. But hey, I do anything for my subscribers. Well, there we have it, guys. The result is a result, I would say. That nothing more than that. It's not the easiest transformation I've ever done, and I had a lot of problems. I've spent too much time on this already, but the main problems here were obviously right here. You can see this integration from the fender here, which is massive on the G-Wagon, and trying to combine that into a AMG GT front face, it's just not the easiest thing to do, but it was a lot. I still have a lot of fun doing this because it's so challenging, and it kind of makes me angry when I can't figure stuff out like this. And I want to try and work on it, but I'm spending too much time on one single design here. So, am I probably gonna continue working on this? Yes, because I'm not happy with it right now. Should you stay for it? Probably not. I want to do it. But anyway, if you want to, you're welcome to stay and see the end result of this design here. Thank you, definitely not Emma, for requesting this design. And keep the comments coming, because I'm going to take the top comments from each video and see what combinations you guys want. And then I'm gonna make these interesting designs here happen on the channel. So keep commenting below and let's see what we can make in the next video. Thanks again for watching. Gotta continue working. I'll see you in the next one.